more understanding than I had any right to expect her to be. Unfortunately, she only had two options: put her son in a large, state-run institution, or take care of him herself.
Your witness.
Have you ever had any other children who had difficulty adjusting to their new residential situations?
Yes?
Did any of their parents kill their children?
Not to my knowledge.
Thank you.
First time I noticed something was wrong with Ian, he just turned 4. He was singing his favorite song, Old MacDonald, and he forgot that pigs say oink. Then he started complaining there was a bad mouse inside his head. In 3 months, he stopped talking or using the toilet.
Would you describe yourself as having a sustained feeling of desperation ever since?
Objection. Leading.
Lay the foundation, counselor.
Since your son's condition made itself known, have you been able to regain anything approaching normalcy?
Objection. Leading.
Is Mr. McCoy categorically opposed to permitting this woman to testify?
She has to testify according to the rules of evidence, Mr. Peck. So let's see if we can get her to do that. Ms. Parnell, when your son's health began deteriorating, what did you do?
We tried low-bass intervention, auditory interpretation, steroids, several different diets, clonidine. Every month there was a new treatment, a new miracle cure. We have such high hopes. Nothing helped.
What about special ed?
He hated special ed. It was always too loud and disturbing. When my marriage started falling apart, we tried sending Ian to respite care for the weekend, but they'd call us up usually by Friday night to take him back. And then he started having seizures, and I was afraid that he'd kill himself. So Ian, he needed me, but he was getting too big, and he stopped letting me change his diaper or brush his teeth or give him medicine. I couldn't take care of him anymore.
Why didn't you send him somewhere? Whether it was an institution or a group home, whatever it was, someplace would have taken him off your hands.
I couldn't. To other people, he was just some weird kid who threw his poop around the room, and to me, when he was listening to Old MacDonald, he was my baby, and I loved him so much.
You're a witness, Mr. McCoy.
Sometimes I feel like I'm seeing it all at once, but it's hard to stay mad.
Ms. Parnell. Her plea is not guilty by reason of insanity.
Yes.
That means that at the time you set the fire, you didn't know right from wrong.
I didn't know what I was doing.
You knew enough to lie to the police.
I didn't mean to lie to them.
You knew enough to go downstairs, unlock the janitor's closet, pour paint thinner on the steps, and leave your son to die in a fire.
No, I did not.
Ms. Parnell, is it or is it not true that you willfully and deliberately set the fire in which your son died?
My son didn't die in the fire. He died before the fire.
The coroner's report states that the cause of death was smoke inhalation.
He was having a seizure, and he went into convulsions, and I had the syringe to give him his injection to stop the convulsions, just like I've done all those times before. But this time, I didn't do it.
I watched his body contorting in pain. That poor, tortured little body that never stopped hurting. And I didn't do it. I let him go. And then I went into the bathroom and I took his pills. All of them. And I swallowed them. I set the fire. And I lay down next to him to die myself.
But you changed your mind.
The smoke made me cough. And the pills didn't work. And I started to think about my daughter. And I got up and I ran outside and I grabbed the phone out of some guy's hand and I dialed 911. And I never would have set the fire if I'd known Ian was alive. I never would have done that to him. I never would have made him suffer like that. He suffered so much in his life.
Is she telling the truth?
Emmy said the kid could have been in a coma from the seizures. She thought he was dead. In fact, he was still breathing, just enough to get some smoke into his lungs.
Why'd she wait to